Hello, in this video we're going to paint the, excuse me, the little winter sloth. So make sure you have your canvas out and ready. Your plate with your paints all kind of blob down there. Got white, it's titanium white, Mars black, phthalo blue, chrome yellow, turquoise, and I think it's called bright red. I'm not sure if I'm going to be using all these colors or if I'm going to be grabbing more because I haven't decided how to do the hat. But yeah, this is what we're going to start with. Whatever I do decide, you will end up having those colors as well. So just make sure you get them all put on your plate. You're going to need a jar or a cup of sorts for some water. I really should have cleaned mine out. It's full of red. An assortment of brushes. I've got a couple here. Got a few others over here. Just so you have different sizes to work with. And of course, paper towels on hand to dry your brushes after cleaning them in your water, or in case you have any spills or mishaps. You have them right there available. You can get everything cleaned up quickly. All right, I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna do the background first. So to make the color I wanna paint my background, I am going to take a little bit of black and with a lot of blue, a little more black. Get that all stirred together. And my hand always seems to be in the way. I'm going to take a nice scoop of white. Stir that in as well. Then as we work, we are going to be blending white in as well, right onto the canvas. I will show you what I mean here in a second. Let's get my paint all put together. So I'm gonna start with my blue that we just made. Work in small sections. And then just grab a little white with my dirty brush and streak it through. You're just gonna fill in the whole background that way. Go around your little branch and your little slothy arms. I like to do a nice smooth stroke from one edge to the other just to minimize strange brush marks. Nice, smooth, even coat. Try not to have any big globs. You want to get them all smoothed out nice and even. in this upper area. So I've got above the branch and below the branch. I've painted below the branch. So this upper area, I think I'm gonna make that a little bit lighter. So to do that, you're just gonna blend in a lot more white. There, that looks pretty good. It's a little weird over here. So it's hard to get that nice and smooth. Pretty good. I like it. All right, next we're gonna paint the branch. Oops, I forgot a color. Alrighty. Let me go get that. Okay. So I just added this burnt orange color to my plate. It's called Venetian Red. Don't worry, I've sent that along with you. I'm just gonna get my brush cleaned out. And we're gonna paint the branch brown. And to make brown, we take a little bit of the black, mix it in with about the same amount of that burnt orange. So we have a nice chocolatey brown. And then just go in and get your branch painted. Got the branch painted. I'm gonna take a little bit of white on my dirty brush, stir it in, just a little bit of my brown, so it's a little bit lighter. And I'm just gonna kind of streak in a little bit of this lighter brown. Next, we will paint the sloth, his body. He's gonna be gray. So we're just gonna get a base coat of gray in, and then we can flick in some different shades of gray to create like a fur texture. So get your brush cleaned out. We're gonna make a nice, like light to medium shade of gray. So I got some white, it's got a little brown in it, that's okay. And just a little bit of black. Then just go ahead and get this body painted. That's weird. Something's not right here. My drawing is wonky. This arm should be on the other side of the branch. So let me paint. Let's fix that. So I'm just going in with my brown, cover the arm. Should have probably waited for it to dry. But there, now the arm is on the other side of the branch. And his little chin will be resting on the top. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. No biggie. Sorry, I'm just trying to get the whole branch kind of the same shade now that the gray's kind of been mixed in. There. That's better. That makes more sense. Now his little head is resting on the branch. One arm is on one side, the other arm is on the other. Alright, let's do his little chin area. That's also gray. And we can paint his little face white. And just paint the whole thing, paint right over top of his little like eyes and nose and stuff. So long as you do just a thin coat of white, that's all gonna show through. If you're worried that it won't, just take a permanent marker, Sharpie, black, and trace over. But you should be absolutely fine. I'm fine. Now when this dries, we can go in and paint the little eye patches or whatever. They will be great as well. I think we'll do those a little bit darker shade. So I'm gonna go in with a smaller brush, if I can find it. Got this size here, and I'm gonna add a little fur into his body. I'm gonna make it a little bit darker gray, just stir some more black into my other gray that I had. I'm just gonna go in and just little dash marks, some little fur on his body. Make some kind of go off the edge. You can use the lighter gray for the edge ones. Go down his arm. You can go down on the edges of the arm a little, making kind of fluffy. Use your lighter gray so it matches the base coat. Just gonna fluff him up a little, make him cozy. Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of add in a little bit of a shadow. So it's a little darker right there where it's overhanging. Then I can add in some fur. And I'm gonna add a little bit more white, so I have kind of an in-between, like a medium gray, and just add in some, just slightly darker than what you already have on there, like the base coat. So he's cute and fluffy. Take a little bit of the, kind of the in-between gray, the medium gray. I'm just gonna kind of brush it on there so it's not just the flat, light gray. I'm gonna fluff out his fur on his face, the white, just using a little bit of white. And just kind of add a little fur, little dash marks on the edge of his face so he looks kind of fuzzy. I'm gonna take a little of my medium gray here on the edge so he's kind of a little fluffy, his little chin hanging on the branch. Might get a little too fluffy. Then his little mask, the little eye shape, the medium or dark gray. Go ahead and get that painted. You're gonna lose that little eye line. but that's okay. It's an easy line to put back in yourself. Had you have used your Sharpie, you would probably be able to see that still. Gonna clean out my brush and give them a little cheeks. This is gonna be very, very pale pink. So just a dash of red and with a bit of white. Here, I'll just get some white over here. And then just a little bit of red. Stirred in. Doesn't take much red at all to get a nice pale pink. The brush is a little dirty. It's all right, we'll just stir that dirtiness right in. And then right in here, give him some rosy little cheeks. Nice little circles. And if your pink is too dark, let it dry and put some white on top. And you can mellow it out a little. Next we'll do the hat. I haven't really decided what colors to do that. I thought maybe lime green and turquoise would be pretty. Or red. I'm trying to think what colors look nice with that nice dark blue. I think I'm gonna do lime green and turquoise. Why not? So yellow, a little bit of turquoise. Does not take much turquoise at all. This is gonna be the green. And a nice scoop of white. We're gonna do some stripes. Feel free to do something completely different. You can paint the whole thing a solid color, put polka dots on it, whatever floats your boat. Or just leave it a solid color. I'm gonna start by, let's see. I'm gonna do the little tassel-y things to hang down. And I'm gonna go all the way, kind of around the, oops, got it in his eye. I'm gonna go all the way around the edge for my first stripe. Just this edge of the hat that's close to the face. This really, really narrow stripe. Just take your time. So that's the first one. Then the next stripe I'm going to do with the turquoise. So I'm going to add a little bit of white to my turquoise. Otherwise it doesn't really do the best as far as coverage. So a little scoop of white. Oops, I got dark blue in it. And some turquoise. Probably going to want more to use. There. So these two colors together are pretty. And I think it looks good with the blue too. So my next stripe, just gonna follow that line. Maybe get a little thicker. Oh, I don't have so many to do. to my green. So it's gonna take a bit of a moment, isn't it? It's nice having colors that are kind of similar side by side, because if you get a little sloppy, it's not that obvious. Back to my turquoise. It's kind of just gonna have a nice curve. I'll get up here. Right now it's kind of like a rainbow. You just follow the curve. I don't even know if you could see the difference on the camera. Probably not. It's hard to see when I step back. I'm just alternating between the turquoise and the green. So these are my colors. And then we'll do the little pom-poms. I'm gonna just fill them in turquoise to start. And then I'm gonna flick out on the edge to make it fluffy. I'll do the same down here. Just get them filled in. And then flick out the edge to make it fluffy. I just use the side of my brush, just like putting the furs on his body. use the side of your brush and just flick outward. I just might need a little overlapping, little extra layer of paint because that dark blue kind of shows through. Same with the brown and the gray. I'm probably not even gonna be able to see the green in it. Make it a little darker. Let's add a touch of blue to the green. Help it show up. I use this blue and just a little, just a teeny tiny bit. And then just kind of like a starburst, putting little fuzzies. Then a little bit of my bright green. There. Very cute. And if you want to go back in and touch up some of your green, feel free. Or even the blue or any of the colors. I don't know what color you decided to do. I'm beginning to think that maybe just a solid color would have been a little bit more practical. I just have little bits of canvas showing that I'm just filling in. Okie dokie. Let's do his claws. I use my long skinny liner brush. And I'm just gonna put 3, I'm not using my square tip small brush, because I want them to be wider at where they touch his little paw, and then as they come, they'll taper. So I'll do one stroke, but I'm gonna have my brush flat where I start, and as I pull downward to make the claw, I'm gonna twist my brush just a little so that it becomes a point. I'm just gonna use a little bit of dark medium gray, a little bit on, so right about here, then I twist my brush. I'm gonna have 3 claws on each. Then I'll take just a little bit of white just to give them a little highlight on the edge. Just a touch of white, teeny tiny bit on my brush. I'm gonna add a little white to my pom-poms. I feel like my pom-poms need a little boost. That's a little better. I'm gonna do the face next. So, little skinny brush, something small, and just a little bit of black. We'll do the eyes. And they're just like a tiny little smile. One. Hopefully I can get it the same on this side. Pretty close. Do the nose. And you need such little amount of paint on your brush for this. Otherwise you'll have big globs and nowhere to put it. And then the little smile. Cute. Next, we're gonna do snow. We have snow, like big snowflakes all over the background, and then we have some snow piled on him. So I'll start with the snow piles. I use my medium flat brush, this size. I'm gonna get a little bit of my white, oops, a clean spot of white over here. And he's got a little bit kind of piled up here. And I just kind of dab it on. Maybe hump it up a little bit more in the middle. Do a little bit on his head here. We'll do the branch. And a little pile here. And let me just sneak a little bit right in here. Why not? Then I'm gonna do snowflakes. I'm gonna go back to my small brush, my square one, and then I'm gonna do pretty good sized snowflakes. Got this little touch of green on his forehead that's bugging me. I'm gonna touch up real quick, if I can. There. Now for the snowflakes, let me find a little bit more clean white. I'm just going to put my brush where I want the snowflake and then just kind of spiral it around and make circles. Oops, I just stuck my hand in that pile of snow. So you can do some bigger ones, some small ones, all the same size, whatever tickles your fancy. Don't forget down in here. Flip it so I can get over here a little better. Big. There. All done, I think. Let me just step back and give her a look. Looks pretty dang cute to me. I'm gonna sign my name. I've got this dark blue background color right here. I'm gonna add a nice bit of white, yellow green in it, just so that it's a little bit lighter. Add a little bit of water, just so it's easier to do my name in one big swoop. Helps the flow of the paint, have it thinned out just a smidge. And I'll try to squeeze it right here. Perfect. I hope you enjoyed painting along with me, and I hope that you're happy with the way your painting turned out. Maybe I'll see you in another video, so thanks for watching, and